Hi guys, this is JasonOn.com and I'm here with the Samsung Galaxy A33 5G for a quick hands-on. So this is a mid-range device which comes with a kicker. This time they put here a main 48 megapixel camera with optical image stabilization. Aside from that, it keeps the same plastic backside. It appears to have a pretty thick frame. I'm speaking about 8.1 millimeter thickness here. And at the same time, it weighs 186 grams, which is not exactly extreme. You can see here the sloped sides of the camera. This time the Galaxy A30 model from 2022 has been aligned with the Galaxy A50 model. I like the fact that the back is matte, it doesn't draw fingerprints or grease. In this peach version, there's also a white version, a black version and a blue version. Now going to the front side, sadly we have here some pretty big bezels, but that's a compromise you're willing to make for a mid-range phone. You can also see the old school teardrop notch at the top side, and aside from that, a pretty big chin. Now this panel you're seeing here is a Super AMOLED, 6.4 inches in diagonal, and I actually initially had trouble filming it in the sunlight until I went to the settings. And by the way, the resolution is Full HD+, it has Gorilla Glass 5. As I said before, I went to the settings and activated the adaptive brightness, and it can handle the sun, which is the good news. Another interesting thing, unlike the previous mid-range phones in the Galaxy A series, this one opts for an Exynos 1280 processor instead of a Snapdragon, and it's accompanied by 6 gigs of RAM. In this case, there should be more versions, but you can also add the RAM and expand it from the special dedicated option here. So you go here, you can see we have 128 gigabytes of storage, you can see we have 6 gigs of RAM. You can also clean it with this feature, and you can go here for the RAM Plus. It will extract storage from the internal storage and use it as RAM up to 6 gigs. We're running on Android 12 with One UI 4.1 on top, and it also means, among others, that we get a brand new widget picker, which you can see here, and the widgets are a bit more detailed now. Okay, so we spoke about the screen, we spoke about the new Exynos 1280 processor, 5 nanometer by the way, also present on the Galaxy A53. This is the A33 once again. And now let's talk about the battery. Samsung is promising you 1 day of usage, maybe even 1.5 or maybe even 2, thanks to a 5000 mAh battery, which provides a 25 watt wired charging. Now, as far as the cameras are concerned, we're getting here a 13 megapixel shooter in the teardrop notch, films in Full HD, while the backside features a quad camera. It's got a 48 megapixel main shooter with optical image stabilization, also f1.8 aperture, 8 megapixel ultra-wide, 5 megapixel macro and 2 megapixel bokeh. It films in 4K, just so you know, which is welcome for a more affordable mid-range phone. Now, if you go into the camera settings, in the more section, you have quite a few options. There's single take, there's pro mode, there's pro video actually. There's also food photo, macro, super slow motion and accelerated motion. And the good piece of news is that you can also film in 4K, as you can see here. Plus, there's an extra stabilization option, an extra steady mode if you're willing to film on your skateboarding or something like that. This is the photo mode, and we should also have some AI here. Let's see if you can identify photos or not. On paper, you should be able to activate a special photo mode in certain scenarios. We also have the portrait mode, and we also have the fun mode, which is made to a partnership between Samsung and Snapchat. Activates a series of masks which will be applied to your face, and usually it requires being connected to a network in order for it to work. Aside from that, there's 5G connectivity, of course. There's the USB-C here, and we don't have an audio jack, just so you know. And we also have one singular speaker, plus a microSD card slot, so you can expand the storage of the device. So that's it, the first contact. I would say it's rather grippy, it sits well in the hand. I love the matte back and the peach version here. I have great expectations from the stabilization, and I'm very curious about the Exynos 1280 processor. That's it from JasonOn.com. Hope you enjoyed this hands-on with the Samsung Galaxy A33 5G. Goodbye.